Super League games at the moment to talk about. But yeah, thanks for the fan views. Great stuff. We're now going to move on to other results.
So moving on to other results, it was round 11 of the Championship. It finished Featherstone 68, Newcastle 12, Batley 12, Halifax 22, Bradford 12, Widnes 25, London 38, Swinton 24, Oldham 4, Dewsbury 18, Whitehaven 37, York 12, and Sheffield 6, Toulouse 54.
In the standings, that means Toulouse and Featherstone stay top on 100% records. Batley and Bradford stay third and fourth on 70% records. London are on 68%, Halifax on 63%, and Widnes on 50%. Dewsbury and 8th have 40%, with York and Sheffield on 36%, Newcastle on 35%, Whitehaven on 31%. Bit of a gap then to Oldham, who have 18%, and Swinton, who, despite being plucky and being competitive again this week, still are winless at the bottom. You know, Toulouse are averaging more than 50 points a game.
That's scary.
I know. All them sides that aren't being able to go over and play them must be, like, relieved.
Yeah. In League One, it was round 8, and it finished West Wales 12, Hunslet 38, Barrow 24, Workington 24, Coventry 16, Doncaster 34, Keighley 34, London Scholars 22, and Rochdale 38, North Wales 28.
Clearly that Barrow Workington game was the game of the round. Over 3,000 in the crowd at Barrow, which is brilliant, I think.
It's brilliant, but they have a maximum capacity at the best of times of 3,000. So how they managed to get over 3,000 in COVID times is an interesting one.
True. So it might. Are you saying the crowd might be positive in more ways than one?
I've got no idea, but I did read something by someone who was there saying, you know, the tannoy kept saying, please adhere to social distancing rules. And he said, you know, however, it was impossible to take a breath without asking somebody else to, you know, breathe in.
Hopefully they can get the balance right then. There. In terms of the standings, this weekend's draw means Barrow lose their 100% start to the season, but are still unbeaten and sit top on 93%. Doncaster and Workington both have 81%. Keighley have 57% and Hunslet 56%, completing the top 5. Rochdale and North Wales are on 37% ahead of Coventry on 28 and the Scholars on 25. West Wales are winless and bottom. Oh yeah, side note from that Rochdale win over North Wales, it was Rangi Chase's first game for Rochdale and he picked up quite a serious injury, it sounds like, so he's going to maybe not even get to play again this year, potentially. And Coventry were up against Doncaster, conceded a try just before half time, kind of against the run of play at that stage, and then didn't really compete in the second half, unfortunately. So yeah, a couple of extra lines there on that. Origin game, Sarah. Sunday was Origin game 2. It was Queensland 0, New South Wales 26 in Brisbane. Loads of fan views. Do you want to start with the first one?
Yep, so Mark Butler said, a bit of a mugging by Queensland in the end. New South Wales threw it about from the start, scored early, and we looked in for a treat. The game didn't really catch fire in wet conditions though. After their positive start, New South Wales didn't cross again, despite plenty of field position that they failed really to test the line with. Queensland mostly lived off scraps and won with them in the end, a late penalty settling the game late on.
Yep, NRL review. David has given us plenty of new nicknames to talk about from what he has called the State of Orange team lists. So for the Purples, aka the Maroons, he listed the team as number 2, Casanova Watson, number 20, Jumpers, number 3, Cape Fear, number 4, LGBTQI, number 5, Velcro, number 6, Herman Adams, number 7, the Giraffe, number 8, Welshman, number 9, Not Cam Smith, number 10, Pap Smear, number 11 is Bow and Arrow, number 12, Feline, and number 13, Tiny. Number 14 was Drop It 15 Mo's Tavern, 16 the Real Fafita, and 17 Made of Molo were the men on the bench. Whereas for the Blues boys, he calls the Cyans. Teddy Bear was number 1. Threes was in jersey 2. Number 3 was Latrine. Number 4 was Diesel Injection, one we've become familiar with already. Number 5 was Adult Car. Such a simple joke. I don't know why it made me laugh. Number 6 is Lose Eye. 7 is Captain Caveman. 8 is Safe Eating. 9 is Baywatch. 10 is Big Baby. 11 is Calamari. 12 Simulation. And 13 is Yo-Yo. On the bench was 14 Whiteface, 15 Top Knot, 16 Duhastmic, and 17 First Names. Who knows? Anyway, his actual match review was, in the state of orange, the Cyans got on top in the first half with Latrine shitting all over them. Purples tried the offload game, but the attack from the Giraffe and Herman was stunted, and other tries came for Adult Car and Diesel Injection. Cyans kept the pressure on in the second half. Adult Car got his second. Drop It was the Purples' best. Just a disappointing result for the Purples. Cyans 26, Purples 0.
Alan Walker said, mega intense 20 minutes of bash, bash, bash. As good as you'll see anywhere on the planet. Then the Blues back put on the show. It's like the Maroons turned into the Queensland Reds. They were playing the wrong game. The smile on Fittler's face while Green opened his cyanide pill was a picture. Nearly his redemption for last year. Volandis is out of pocket there. He needed the cash from a decider to sell around.
Matt Speakman said, New South Wales simply too good. The back five has to be the most threatening I've ever seen it, and I'd be surprised if it isn't the one Australia line up with if they do end up coming over in October. Can't see anything but a whitewash, or should that be a blue wash?
Tom Andrews, again, should have been moving house and unpacking boxes. Never thought I'd be excited for Origin to end so I could watch Salford and Leeds.
It was a little bit one-sided. It all felt a little bit inevitable from the off. I mean, I think the difference between this and the first game, which I didn't actually watch the first game because I'd seen the score and it was a blowout, but that seemed to be all about the attack of New South Wales just blowing Queensland away. In this game, New South Wales had to do quite a lot of defending. Queensland had quite a lot of attacking opportunities, couldn't make any of them stick. Whether that's through the personnel not gelling or what, the quality just wasn't quite there for them. Whereas the Blues was really incisive with the chances they took.
Yep. I didn't watch it because, like you say, for the other one, I had seen the score and saw it was a blowout and decided I'd watch the England Combies match instead. I
think you made a fine choice, Sarah. But yeah, the Maroons fans will be feeling like, what is going on, really, after... What are we at now? We're like 70-odd points anyway in the series after 2 games, and it doesn't feel like it's going to get any better, to be completely honest, for them. So we'll see. Be interesting to see where the Game 3 is played. It's talked that it might have to move because of the COVID outbreaks around the Sydney area, so we shall see, but I'm sure it will get played, and I'm sure the Blues will win. Okay, that's other results. Let's make our predictions now. We've got two incomplete rounds of Super League to make our predictions for, so we'll move on to that. Predictions then, and it is round 12 of Super League, and whilst we were just in our little interlude between, Sarah said that she wanted to make a prediction for the first game, so I'll take it away, Sarah.
Yeah, I'd like to go Saints by 24 over Castleford.
Do you know, I think I'd already put my Super Brew in for this last night because I normally forget, and if it counts, then I've probably done quite well. Anyway, the first game to talk about is Wednesday, 7:45 p.m. on Sky. It is out of form Wigan versus in form Warrington. We know the squads for this one. Warrington are at basically full strength. there or thereabouts, depending on whether you class Greg Inglis as being in their full strength this year, with Jason Clark back in the squad as well for them. Whereas Wigan are, of course, without some of the people we already know, but Zach Hardacre, who's been banned recently, has also picked up a neck injury, which sounds quite worrying, because it's causing him to have some other issues off the back of that. So that's a concern for Zach Hardacre and for Wigan. So Wigan will be going into this one under strength. Whether Adrian Lamb will pick a fullback at fullback is yet to be seen. So that will be interesting. What scoreline do you expect in this one, Sarah?
I'm going to go for Warrington by 8.
Yeah, I think Wigan will struggle to cope with Warrington's forwards with the conditioning issues that I've already talked about. I think Wigan's creativity is basically null and void, whilst Warrington are the top scorers, aren't they, in the competition? So, with all that said, I have to go with Wigan win by 2.
Yep, don't blame you.
I need to make up ground in the Super Brew, so why not go for the go for the hero pick on this one?
Yeah.
Next up, Thursday. We've got 3 Thursday night games. None of them are on TV, because that honour will be saved for your Derby match rearranged game, won't it be? But we'll start with Salford versus Wakefield. 2 patched up sides expected for these two. I have to say, I assume Wakefield will be more together than Salford will be. After the bans today, I'm having to change my pick on this one because I think I might have edged Salford before that, just on a hunch. But I'm going to have to say Wakey by 10.
Yeah, it's a massive game, I guess, for both teams. But I thought definitely it feels bigger for Salford.
Yeah.
But now, given, as you say, the bans and everything else, I think I'd go, Wakefield by 12.
Huddersfield versus Catalans. You've seen Huddersfield firsthand in their patched up side recently. You know, even some of the players that they might get back, because they lost a lot to the Combies, some of those players will be coming back to them with a couple of knocks, but they will be better equipped. But will that be good enough to beat top of the table Catalans, Sarah?
I don't think so. I can only see Catalans by 14.
Yeah, I'm in very similar mindset. I'm going to go Catalans by 16. They seem to be the side that they've got a couple of issues. I'm sure Alric Acosta won't be able to play because of his concussion, and I think that Michael McLaurin's also got a bit of a knock, so that's an area of concern for them. But outside of that, they seem to be pretty fit and firing, the Catalans. Maybe a tougher one to pick than it would normally seem. Leeds versus Lee. Leeds are obviously gonna struggle to get a team together for this match, and they'll be playing on a very short turnaround with key men out
and some key men backing up again from Friday.
It's really, but yet you can't pick Lee because they're shit. I'm going to go Leeds because I can't pick Lee to win. Leeds by 4, but I would not be shocked. This really is an open goal potentially for Lee. If they can get off to the starts that they've been getting off to in most of their matches, and you'd think they should be able to win the energy battle in the second half of the match, which is something they never ever normally would have a chance to do. But I just can't pick them. Can you?
Go on then, I'm going to pick Lee by 2.
There you go. Round 13 follows hot on the heels of round 12. It's the reason why we've got no show until Wednesday next week. But it starts on Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. Sky, for St Helens, no doubt demolishing an underpowered Wigan side. I'm not going to make a hero pick in this one. I'm going to say St Helens by about 18.
I don't think I've ever heard you do that, Mark.
Yeah, I picked I picked against Wigan last week. No,
Oh,
I didn't. No, I didn't. I picked against them when we played